Hey everybody. Okay, we ready to do some yoga? Here's my studio, and I thought I'd invite you today. I don't know if you know this, but Yoga's Ark is the company that I created a couple years ago, and it's a yoga delivery company. Well, obviously we're not delivering much yoga right now. We created a free YouTube channel with tons and tons of yoga. Let's see who's watching. Hi Eileen. It's been so long. This is so cool. I'm getting the courage to do a live class. Okay. Hi Christine. Okay, so here's what we're doing today. I'm not going to tell you yet. Where's my cards? I get so distracted. I can't do, oh, here they are. Okay. Well, Yoga's Ark does a class, 4 classes a week. And I try to bring all kinds of classes. So this week, yesterday it was yoga for athletes, which I did that one with Michelle. That one was really good. If you do a lot of exercising and you don't get to stretch a lot, any of the yoga for athletes classes that we have one for dancers, one for golfers. Well, today was a post for 2 different types of classes. We have a prenatal and a postnatal. No, I'm not prenatal and I'm not postnatal, thank goodness. But I do have a lot of children. They're my yoga children, I call them. All the yoga teachers that work for Yoga's Ark. They're like my babies. I love them and I want to protect them. So that's why we're doing YouTube right now. And I'm going to do the prenatal class with Julie Hoffman. If any of you know any women that are pregnant, they probably could use some yoga. They've been cooped up. But really, anybody can do this class. I did the yoga for stroke recovery. I did the class, and there were parts of the class that were difficult for me. I've done every single class. What else was really interesting? There was one for osteoporosis. There's a few flows, there's some yins, tons of meditations, and lots of different personalities, so I highly recommend. All right, let's see what our angel card is. Every day I practice here, so you're actually in my personal yoga studio. And I don't really know how to show you around without screwing up this camera and stuff, so I'm gonna leave you right here. Maybe one day I'll figure that out. The angel meditation cards, they just give me a little like boost of an inspiration, something to think about while I'm doing the practice. Today's angel card is the angel of compassion. So let's see what our angel reading is today. You and I are one. When we are compassionate, we are able to understand others from deep within ourselves. This attitude brings a light that reveals truth and the love that transforms and heals. To be compassionate is to be equal, one with another, as with oneself. We all need to show some compassion right now. Okay, so if any of you want to do some yoga, grab your mat. Or if you want to check out our YouTube channel and just pick one, it's Yoga's Ark, YouTube /Yoga's Ark, that's simple. And there's over 50 of them now. Okay, let's see what Julie has. I don't know if you can see me on my mat. You guys can yoga with me for a little while. Hold on. I told Julie I was thinking about doing her class live, and she's like, do it, do it. Do it, do it. I have my laptop right here. I know you can't hear her. She's reading making sure that you put your health first. Her dog's with her. She's reading, just making sure that you consult your physician if you're not sure. We have that at the beginning of every class. Props. If you guys don't have blocks and you do any of our YouTube Yoga's Art classes, you can use books, you can use empty plastic Tupperware containers. You can use, if you're using it for like standing class, you can use like your water bottle or something. If you don't have a bolster, she's having us do something with a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you can use really hard pillows, or you can take blankets or towels and roll them up. And apparently when you're pregnant, it's really good to elevate when you lay down, which I knew that because I've been teaching yoga for a long time and I've had many pregnant women take my classes. And this is how you want to set up. And this is really good to do even if, I do this all the time. You take your blocks and it helps you prop up. You can do this height, you can do this height, and then you can take your bolster, or you can use like a cushion from your couch, and you can prop yourself up. I don't know who's watching now because you guys are far away, even with my eyeglasses on. That's terrible. It's okay. And then she's got us laying down in reclined butterfly with our feet together. And if you are towards the end of your pregnancy and you're doing this practice and you are really flexible, you can put something under your outer thighs to hold your knees up a little bit. If you are doing this practice or you're just joining in, you are tight in the hips or you're an athlete, that can help too. And then lay back. Oh, this is awesome. And she's saying that if you are pregnant and you are uncomfortable, you can turn to your side and lay. I'm like teaching this class, aren't I? Okay, so I'm going to take a little nap. I suggest you join me. Unless you're cooking dinner, running around with kids, and busy. We're going to be here for about 2 minutes, everybody. So get comfortable. talking means we're moving. If you are reclining, it's really important to protect and support your neck so you can roll up like this. Okay, now we gotta move things out of the way. No problem, no problem. And we prop ourselves up on our forearms. I'm gonna have to put my hair back. We're propping ourselves on our forearms, which I know this is hammock pose, and sway your knees side to side. This is good for your shoulders. If you kind of drop into your shoulders, especially if you've been typing and doing stuff like that all day, which I completely have. I'm excited, Yoga's Arc. We're not opening yet, but we are moving back into, we're teaching in Valley Hospital. We have 4 to 6 instructors that go in 3 times a week and teach to 2 groups of women that, I think one is women and men and 2 women. And they, oh, we're switching. They've been through substance abuse, domestic abuse, so they go in and teach them in the hospitals. Oh, bless their hearts. And they're going to start next week. We're very excited about that. For those of you just joining, I'm doing one of our Yoga's Arc YouTube videos, and this one happens to be prenatal. Now we're just going to sit, and if you want to sit in a chair, you can. And even if you're like cooking dinner, like shoulders and neck rolls. Like we all should do some head and neck rolls. I know some of you are like, why are you doing prenatal? Don't worry, I am not pregnant, everybody. I have to make sure I keep saying that to all my friends out there. But I make sure to take every single class, switch directions if you haven't. I make sure to take every single class that all of my teachers teach, because they're all so awesome, and I just love taking all their classes no matter what they are. Okay, so now we're putting our hands on our hips, sitting crisscross, and we're rotating from the hips. So we're leaning and getting some movement in the hips, some strength in our core. Go nice and slow, she said. This is Julie Hoffman. I know she teaches she teaches all over the place. She was a nurse for a while, so she's got a huge family. And I know she is very passionate about pre and postnatal. Thank you, Julie. Because those of you that know me, that's not my forte. Okay, now we take our legs out. Hopefully you did both sides. And we're circling our ankles. All we're doing is rolling the ankles. And I'm adding side notes. It's the teacher and me. Sorry, Julie, I'm talking over you. But we have a lot of lymph nodes in our ankles, and a lot of people are losing ankle flexibility, mobility, because we sit and passively flex our feet in chairs all day. And we have a lot of lymph nodes in our feet. So if you take the time, anytime you think of it, to move your feet, it's good for you. And then shake out your feet. I have a very old laptop, so it's really quiet. I usually do it from my phone. Okay, so cat-cows, and if you need support for your knees, I'm diffusing right now. It's like ginger, peppermint, and raven. Anyway, wanted to know. I'm sure you can really smell it. So we're doing cat-cows. If there is one yoga pose that everyone should do every day, cat-cows. Cat-cows. I mean, we have to move our spine. It's so good for you. Inhale. Exhale. For those of you that are just jumping on, I'm doing one of Yoga's Arc's YouTube free yoga classes, and I thought maybe you guys would join me to show you how easy it is I know if you have a full house, make them do it with you, for crying out loud. My huskies usually do it with me. Rob's in the hot tub. He's mountain bikes in hot tubs most of the time. Okay, now she's doing something else. I got distracted talking to you all. Okay, you take your leg behind you, cross it to stretch. And then come back to your elbow and then cross. Come in and cross. And we're gonna hold a little bit. I love holding stretches. Joan, if you're watching, my girlfriend Joan in Boston, we were talking about how we just love stretching. Okay, come back. You're gonna switch sides, take your other leg behind you. So if you're mirror imaging me, it's your right leg. Cross. And then come to your elbow. Cross. Last one. If you're not following us on Yoga's Arc yet, you should. Oh yeah, we're gonna hold it. And breathe. And come back. I'll let you know what we're doing. Hold on, I know you're all just so curious. Oh, downward dog time. Hands, feet, pedal it out. The secret to down dog, for those of you that have tight hamstrings, is just to lift your heels a little bit or bend your knees. And then, oh, we walk back. You can take your feet as wide as you need to, bend your knees, take a forward fold. You can hold your elbows. Achoo! Bless me. Okay, now hands on your hips to hinge to come up. Deep breath. Spread your toes. That's super important. We shove our feet in shoes. Maybe not, maybe flip-flops right now, but some people have a hard time spreading their little toes, so that's a good thing to practice. Taking your little toes apart from each other. Sometimes you need to use your hands. Okay, take your stance back. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to center. Now we're going to go wider than our mat. Turn your toes out and come down for your goddess. And then straighten. Hands to the hips. Walk it in. Left leg forward. Walk your feet a little wide and then put your knee down on. So you'll be on your right leg, I'm on my left leg if you're joining. If you're watching for entertainment, yes, I am doing prenatal yoga, everybody, and no, I am not pregnant, just to make that clear. Okay, now we're gonna go back to downward facing dog, so take your hands down, rubbing on the inside, especially if you are pregnant. Now step your left leg forward. I'm not sure if she's doing the same leg the second time because I'm talking to you and watching her, but it doesn't really matter. As long as we're moving instead of sitting on the couch, that's way more important. I think we did right. Okay, come back down on the inside or the outside, walk back. And we walk back again, come on up. Take your feet wide, turn your toes out again to this goddess. A little seat. And then straight and bring your feet back together. Inhale, reach. Hands to your heart. That was a moon salutation. You're right, Julie. That was a moon salutation. Okay. She's going to face me this time. Ground through your feet. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to your heart. Hips. Walk your feet wide. Turn your toes out. Sit. Hands. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale, lengthen. Walk those feet back together. Exhale. Okay, so we're at the front of our mat. So come forward and walk your left leg back. Come down and lunge. So she wanted you to first feel it stepping forward, and then you're at the front of your mat stepping back. Oh, I hear one of the huskies coming. Oh, good. Here comes Koa. You get to meet Koa if you haven't met Koa. Hi, Koa. Okay, back to down dog. So we're going to... Oh, she wants us to go back to down dog. Okay. Hi, buddy. Hi. Okay, bring your other foot forward. Yep, other foot forward, everybody. Your left foot forward. Back knee down. Come on up. Breathe. If you want to get our email subscription letting you know like the classes each week, just message me your email. Okay, now we come back again. Down dog. And then walk back. Julie, look, my dog came and stayed. I don't know if you can see him. Sit down into your goddess. And then we come back. Inhale, reach. And then shake it out a little bit. You can stand wherever you want on your mat, she says is perfect. You could look towards the floor, you can look straight ahead. Ground through your left foot. Bring up your right heel, maybe your right toes. Tree pose, either above or below the knee. And you can raise your arms up to the sky. Hands down. Bring your knee forward. Oh. Right hand to your right knee. Open. Left arm out. And then come back. Shake it, shake it. This comment I'm going to make is probably going to prove that I'm not prenatal because I'm excited to have a glass of wine while I make dinner after taking this class. Okay, tree pose other side. Ground through your right foot. Start to bring up your left. And then bring your foot. You might notice one hip's tighter than the other. That's normal. And arms where you want them. Hands down. Knee forward. Left hand to left knee. Open it up. Right arm out. And let that go. Shake it, shake it. Inhale, reach. Right hand to left. Up and over. Go the other way. Nice side bend. And you all thought like yoga's doing all kinds of pretzel stuff. Whatever, that's like for Instagram. Okay, wide. Toes are in. So when we forward fold, Julie wants us to lead with our heart, not the chin. So we're not like, we're coming forward from our heart, chest bone. And then bring your hands to your belly if you're pregnant. If you're doing this literally prenatal, hands to the belly. If you're doing this just because you're loving the stretching and the breathing, your hands can come to your mat, blocks, or anyone can bring their hands to the floor. I might have even heard her wrong. Do what's comfortable. Hi, Kara. I know you just don't like your feet touched. And then sway your hips side to side. You can bend your knees a little bit, come side to side. You can have your hands there, or you can have your hands on your belly if you're pregnant. There was one time I took a prenatal yoga class to learn how to teach it, and they had us walk towards the right foot. Left knee comes down. Oh, child's pose time, so I'm just going to turn. But they had us take a blanket and put it around our belly and then strap it so that we actually could feel what it was like to be pregnant. For those of you that know, I was a school teacher for 20 years and I do not have children. I feel like I raised them for 20 years. Okay, child's pose. This is really good. If you're not used to child's pose, this might be a lot on the knees and the ankles if you sit a lot. You can take your blanket and roll it up and put it on the ankle crease, and that helps. You can even take your blanket and you can put it in the back of your knee crease for a little more support. And the other thing that you can do is put a block like under your forehead or your chest for a little more support and stay in the forearms. I think we're in child's pose and she's talking. comfortable. All right, come on everybody, cat-cows. Maybe, hold on. We need our blocks. You can use books, you can use Tupperware. And if you don't have that, let's see what I can do for you. Yes, you can use books. And if you need more comfort, you can put a blanket over the blocks for what we're doing. I'll tell you in a second when you see it. Oh, that's clever. Okay, put your blocks or books in the small. And they're going to be where your thighs are for a supported cobra. So you can lean your thighs against the blocks. Oh my gosh, this feels really good. I've never done this before. I'm all in for this one. If you sit a lot, this is really good to open the front body. Rob, if you're watching me, you need to do this. You're on the mountain bike so much, you need to stretch the tops of your feet and your hip flexors. Okay, she's got us on our forearms, so you can come to the forearms. That's really nice. And I can see how this is really good for prenatal because there's a lot of room for your belly with the blocks holding you up. Makes a lot of sense. Good job, Julie. We've got the greatest teachers at Yoga's Ark. I'm serious. They have so many gifts. I'm so lucky. Okay, now we come up. Tuck all your toes. And, you know, the pinky toe does not like to tuck when you sit back. Because this is like, nobody likes this stretch. The toe stretch, like every yogi hates it. Make sure your pinky toe's under on both sides and try to sit back on your feet. I can tell that my hips are much more open because this is much easier because it's all connected. If this is really challenging, you can do this and lean forward. But you really should stretch your toes on a regular basis. Okay, back to that stretch that I really loved. The blocks, the blanket over it, hands forward, lean forward. Shoulders out of your ears. That's such a bad habit for me to do this here. So I have to really think about keeping my shoulders down, elbows in. Breathe, breathe, breathe. This is like my new favorite thing right now. Whew. Bend to come back. Okay, take the blanket to the side. Okay, I know what we're doing now. For those of you that are just jumping on going, what are you doing? My computer's so old that the speaker doesn't really work. And I wanted you to do yoga with me. I'm doing one of our instructors' prenatal yoga classes that just went live on our YouTube channel today. So if you go to YouTube.com/YogasArk, YOGASARC, it's like over 50 free classes and all different ones. Seated squat. I mean, if we just did seated squat all the time, we would not have knee, lower back stuff going on. For those of you who know me, magic knees, magic back, not bad knee, bad back. No, 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 we don't use that language. Okay, blocks. You can use blocks for your seated squat until your body's comfortable going to the full seated squat. You want to let your hips drop, keep your heart reaching. You can press your elbows towards the inner thighs. Keep breathing. You can do it against the wall, laying down with your feet up on the wall. I think that's what she said. Oh, that's clever. Okay, if you're not using your blocks, you need your blocks for this. Oh no, she's just showing us how to exit. So you can exit if you're on your blocks. You exit by just bringing your foot back and then coming forward. If you're in your seated squat, you can exit by just taking your hands forward and lifting or sitting back. Okay, now we're sitting down. Bring your blanket in front of you. I need a sip of water. For those of you that are watching, I wonder whose cup this is. Not mine. But I love drinking out of it. And there's nothing, I have nothing against Chicago Blackhawks. Nothing against them. I support them. Okay. You're going to bend your left leg in, right leg out. She has the bolster, so you can use like your pillow or whatnot, over the knee. So you can put the blanket, the bolster over your knee area. So you can lean forward like this. Especially if you are pregnant, you need room for your belly. Or you can just put your hands here, releasing your lower back. Like for me, I'm gonna put the block here, the little table. Yeah, that's awesome. Yes, this is the furthest I go here. For those of you that remember, I taught kickbox and spin for like 20 years. Yeah. It did some damage. Yoga's helping it all go away. She's probably giving some really good tips. I just can't hear her because my speaker is not good, not because of her. If I do this again, where I do a class with you, we can all do it together kind of in my living room. I'll try the iPad and see if my iPad's louder. Okay, we're gonna close our eyes now and totally relax, and I'm going to, because I need my yoga too. Time to switch sides. I get really cranky when I practice and I have to move to the next side, but you never have to move. I don't mean it like that. It's your practice. But I can stay in stretches like forever. Okay, so extend your left leg, bend your right in. Oh, she's taking a second first. Come on, Kary, slow it down, slow it down. Just have a seat, relax for a second. She's having us twist, look over your shoulder. She's saying that you can twist from a certain, I think from your thoracic part of your spine. You just want to make sure you're not twisting from the belly. So either the upper or the hips. That's only if you are prenatal, everybody. For the rest of us, we can twist. Now turn your chin the other shoulder. Oh, look at how high my shoulder was. Get down there. Get down there. Okay, now we're switching sides. So extend your left leg. Bend your right foot in. I'll show you for those of you that just bring your right foot on the inside, right hamstring, and for your lower back on your bent leg side. Make sure your sits bones are grounded and fold wherever it's comfortable for you. And I'm chilling out here, so I'll see you in a minute. Make sure you're breathing, relax your shoulders. She's talking about how one side will be very different than the other, and I completely 100% agree with her. And for those of you that practice with me, when I would teach a lot, you know that I would say that, or believe that too. We're never the same on both sides. By the way, everybody, I made a decision that I'm just gonna teach for myself. I'm not gonna go back and teach for all the gyms and everything anymore. 29 years of teaching, I'm hanging up my hat except for myself, teaching for Yoga's Arc. Woo! Okay, bye. Okay, we're gonna go back into those crisscross and twist the other direction. Just moving my stuff to the side and cross your other ankle in the front and twist. Keeping your sits bones down. Remember, if you are prenatal, you wanna make sure you're not twisting from your belly. Right from the back of your heart, shoulders, hips. Right, Kawa? And now turn, look over the opposite shoulder. Okay, we're going back to where we started. So this is probably like chill out time. And I'll let you do Shavasana with me. You can stay. I'm gonna get my eye pillow. Hi, babies. He's a baby. You rescue huskies. I don't know if you can see him in the picture. This is the Koa boys. He's the Koa boys. The Koa boys. He does yoga with me all the time. She's having us just sit And if you're pregnant, take your hand to your belly to connect with your baby. Okay, now she's sitting, we're laying down. Here's my props. And if you don't have a bolster, remember you can use just the blocks. Shavasana, this is the most important part of your practice, seriously. So if you haven't gotten used to staying for the relaxation part at the end, this is the most important part. So let's chill together. If you have your bolster and stuff, just put your tailbone right up against. And have your legs out or like your reclined butterfly. And I'm gonna put my eye pillow on. I'll see you all in a few minutes. This is where we just do absolutely nothing, let gravity take over. And practice quieting your mind. You just practice not thinking. We always think. Thinking is like it's impossible to not think, but you're just practicing. When you notice a thought come, you just say, oh, and then come back to focusing on breathing. Your inhales, your exhales. Of course, this is the time where you get itches and scratches, right? When we're quiet and still, we notice every little thing. So we try to see if we can stay still through it. And if not, it's okay. Right, Julie? She's starting to talk about moving your breath in your ankles and your toes and your fingers. I'm kind of bummed it's over, so I'm in denial right now. I'm just going to stay here for another minute. She even just said no rush. See? I can stay right here, and you can too. Okay, she said namaste, so I guess it's time, everybody. And if you want to stay where you are, please stay where you are. But it's good to roll to one side to exit and then come up. And then I like how on our YouTube it just loops right to the next yoga class. Find a comfortable seated position. We'll close together. For those of you that are still with me or just joining, I did one of our Yoga's Arc YouTube free classes that we put on for all of you since we haven't been open. We'll bring our hands to our heart center. And thank you all for joining me. And Julie, thank you for teaching me. Namaste. Maybe we'll do this again sometime. Let me know what you thought, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave some comments for some of our instructors. I hope you have a good night. Bye, everybody.